Oh, it's defended by Novak. He's done it. He's pushed it out to save Austria from going down in the first few minutes.
That's really interesting there. It's a great block. Austria with another chance to hold their offense here. And Chinese Taipei setting up in a zone defense. 4 players around the disc, 3 other players covering the areas of the field.
Right, so Austria's right in their end zone. It's a dangerous place to be, Rob. And they've shot it out to number 11. Novak, he's the biggest player on the field. He's got the disc again, Novak with the disc.
Moving up that sideline now. Just a bit of like
and then
nice.
Dovitz with the disc.
Nice.
Petz. Novak's got the disc. He's strong with his throws. And Austria's just cycling back through their back end in the handlers. They've definitely got the height advantage here. And it's a hammer. Uncompleted.
All right. Chinese Taipei looking to go the other way here. Zone defense proving effective close to the end zone here. Battling against this tight mark. Another inside look picked up by the wind.
Oh, defended there by superstar Novak. And we've got Petz with the disc. He's shot it. Down. Oh, and it went up in the end zone and just didn't get there.
It's a shame. This has been a Turnfield offensive point for the Austrians here.
It's an exciting way to start.
Not exactly probably what they're looking for their first offense. I mean, imagine looking for a clean hold, but Chinese Taipei with another early inside break.
Nice one. Petz got in there. He's got the disc. And back to Petz. They're looking very calm, holding the disc. Nice one. So Austria has got score number 1.
All right, and that's the hold for Austria. A lot of turns there, but they get it in the end. It's not exactly what we're looking for out of their first offensive point, but interesting to see how they were working against this Chinese Taipei zone, sorry. And They completed a lot of passes, were able to cycle it through the handlers around the back effectively, but typically on those penetrating passes through the middle were generating turns. Chinese Taipei, a number of shots on it after a block. They'll be happy to generate those opportunities, however, weren't really able to convert.
I think it's interesting to have this game going at the start of day 2. They've got very different playing styles, Austria and Chinese Taipei. Austria, definitely a much taller team. You know, they're used to much colder conditions. So that was the whistle to start the next point.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the wind affects this game, and Chinese Taipei was saying that they were really looking to shut down the Austrians' long game, and that's probably why they've come out with a zone straight out of the gates. We'll see how that holds out for them there as they're coming down on offense here.
That was a pull by Bibernek.
Austrians opting for a match defense here.
They got down there very quickly.
A lot of pressure on these handlers here. Oh, and it's tipped.
It's a dangerous
but
place
that's
to be.
all right. Lin with the disc has swung it across to Yi, and he shoots long. He's got a man deep. That's Huang on the chase. Oh, a huge bid. Came a little bit late, but obviously his heart's really in this game.
It was a great hustle in the end zone. They really worked for that one.
Yeah. I think you might have been able to get that one, but look, that's the kind of athleticism we want to see as Taipei scrambles to set up a defense here. Opting for a different zone here.
And it's a big shot, big shot. They've got Spalholz.
Just asking a lot from him there. Couldn't quite reel it in.
You know, the wind really affects the game here in Perth. It started early. We've already got it's already coming in.
Yi with the disc. Swings it across to Lin. Working out of a horizontal set here. 3 handlers behind. Chow finds it. Swings to the sideline there. Oh, and he shoots long again. Oh.
That one really got picked up.
Yeah, sailed well beyond his. Maybe just a little bit of an early shot there. Austrians scrambling to the disc.
We've got Fisher with the disc. And he's put it over to the sideline, some like nice little throws going there. And it's a big shot. They've got the man Krall in the end zone. He's done it, he's got a goal. Austria's up 2-0.
Absolutely in a paddock there. Had all the time and space he could be looking for. And did a great job to put that toe back down in the back of the end zone. It almost looked like he was back, but Chinese Taipei player was right there and signaled the goal immediately.
Yeah, they've done well. Just a couple of notes on Austria. Now, these guys all play for a bunch of different clubs. They've got Catch Up Graz, Ultimate Vienna, Insiders, and the Big Ez is some of the big names that they represent. So shout out to those Austrian teams.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see almost all of the teams here will be coming from all around their respective countries. Collections of different players from different clubs, different areas, in some cases, different language backgrounds, particularly in the case of the Indian team. So interesting to see which of these teams can bring together the different talents and form into a cohesive unit to achieve the most. There's timeout's been called on the field.
It's an early time to call a timeout in the game.
I'm a fan of it, though. It's if you're the Chinese Taipei team, you've been broken on your second point, so call a timeout instantly. Stop, give you time to reassess and work on it here.
They're going to come out strong after a little chat with the coach, Chinese Taipei, I think, and Austria. Look, they're ready to go. They've had their chat and they're keen for it.
If you're Austria in this situation, you really don't have to change much. Chinese Taipei looking for a lot of long shots, but they've been either sailing well long or well covered by the Austrian defenders, and they're just only having a success with their little bit of short ball, but Austria putting a lot of pressure on, so it's going to be interesting to see what the Chinese Taipei coaches have instructed their team to do. Need to be breaking out and moving that disc a lot faster. They're looking to be using their speed here. They back themselves with their athleticism and their quickness, if not their height here. So they're looking to exploit that. They'll need to be doing something different.
Right, so we've got Jan Bibernek with the disc. He's the captain, one of the captains of the Austrian team. He's ready to go. Going up for a pull. He's got the wind behind him.
And that's a rocket. Settling nicely into the end zone. It's one of the best we've seen today.
Beautiful.
Yo fields it. Back to Yo in the center here. Looks off his undercutters here. Nicely reset to Wang. Is it? Oh, and they've looked long again. Oh, and this is a real air ball here.
Oh,
it's Austrian height coming into play.
That was Fischer with that defense. He's done well. He just got right under that one. Fischer back with the disc in the middle of the field. He's looking to shoot it. Got Bibernek long. Oh, he almost had it. Had a toe on that end zone line.
They were looking good for a while. Fischer had the disc, looking for options for a little while, and then saw his man take off and had a look for it. Not a bad option by any means, but really just got picked up and the wind carried it. The wind's going a little mostly into the camera, as on your screen here. So it's quite crosswindy, but also going a little bit right to left, causing those throws to sit up. Oh, and that's going to be a costly drop here, giving the Austrian team a short field to work with.
We got Kogard with the disc. He shot it into the back of the end zone. Nice one, Captain Bibernek. He's got it. He's brought it down 3-0 to Austria.
Austria really using the height here. On that earlier shot, Chinese Taipei looking to go upwind and just bounced into the air a little bit. Didn't really give him an opportunity to make a play on that. Huang was in the area, in the right place, but the sit and the float on that disc meant that the Austrian player had all the time in the world to use his height, reach over the head and snatch up that D. And then again, just outside that end zone, Austrians just putting it up into the air and giving their players a chance to make a play. Really playing to their strengths early in this game.
That's right. I thought that Austria was really using their height really well in that game. They had a couple of big shots that were up in the air, and the tallest player with the biggest jump, he just got right under that. He was able to defend it, and that was when Austria capitalized and got the turnover.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be interesting if the Taipei team is going to be working against this one. They're going to need to play conservative, high percentage ultimate, working through the middle of the field with a lot of short passes. Right now, they're looking for a lot of long shots, and it's not working for them.
That was Naft with the upwind pull.
And that's quite a sitter. Oh, and it's fielded well.
Oh, it looks like Austria's come out. Oh, there's a turn.
Squeezing a tight window, looking for those inside breaks that the Taipei teams love, but not able to make it happen here.
Didn't quite get that connection there.
That's all right.
From Austria.
Chair picks it up, feels that disc. Goes wide to Chen. They're going up the guts here, and that's a nice break. Finds Chang back in the middle to Xiep.
Right on the edge of that end zone, looking to capitalize.
Got Yo out the front there. Nice dump here, and that's a bump on the mark there.
So there's been a call made on Palais there. They're having a little chat about it. Looks like he's coming in on stall count 4.
It's stall count 1.
Uncontested, coming in on 1.
Coming in on 1.
Oh, and that's a scuba over the top. He's got a man in space. Unable to read that one. It looked like he was checking for the line, checking whether he was in, looking at the sideline. Unable to just close his hands around that one. It's a shame, but Chinese Taipei need to convert on these short field opportunities here.
So Austria's got Duncern with the disc, ready to start their next play. Over to Nats. Oh, didn't quite get that completion. Maybe a bit of a communication breakdown there.
Just a bit too far. Yi picks up the disc. Ooh, sorry, walks away from it. Trick me, trick the other team. Yi, a former MLU player. Oh, there's a lot of pressure on that mark. Lin with the disc. High stall count, blade over the top. Not really what they were looking for there, but a lot of pressure on that mark, unable to get that throw off, and really had to resort to something not very good. That's all right. If they keep getting these blocks, they'll keep getting these opportunities, but they really need to be conservative in putting them in. The Austrian team is not going to keep giving them the disc back.
Right, so we've got Nafts with the disc. He was on the team that actually placed 4th in Poland on the juniors team.
Shot goes up, there's a man in the area. Oh, amazing work by Sung to see get in there and cause that turnover there. As they swing it wide and find Yi with the disc, he moves it up the field. Confidently to Yo with the disc now. He's looking long.
It's up and defended by Kitchen. He's done it, and there's one of the players down on the ground in the end zone.
Looks like it's an injury call, but that might have been a nice shot, but it was just double coverage. You could see that even as there was the Taipei player streaking deep there and his defender on him, the additional defender from the Austrian team peeled off the back and hustled down to get in the way there, ended up getting the block. That's the sort of heads-up help defense that is really going to generate blocks at this elite level. Playing high-quality offense, it's going to be difficult to win on a one-on-one defense every time, but a 2-on-1 gives you a much better chance.
So it looks like the game advisors just come in to moderate the discussion between the two players. The spirit of the game is a very important part of Ultimate, and you know, everybody, we just want to make sure that everybody plays in a safe, respectful way. Of course, no contact was intentional.
My question is, did you see me? Yeah, yes. And I ran into you? I know you're here. Yeah. And I'm running, but you're like... yeah. Did you feel like I got closer to him?
So I didn't see...
Did you hit him?
Yeah, I hit him.
So is that a foul?
Yeah, it is. Just the question is whether he moved into my...
No, that's not the question. That's not the question. Right. If there's... The rules state it doesn't really matter. If you go into him, it's still a foul. It doesn't have to be intentional for it to be a foul.
It's not intentional.
So yeah. The question here is whether or not it affected play.
Can I put my opinion in? So I think you both went to the disc, and I came, and I swapped the disc away. So I'm not sure if it affected you before that, but I had the D, and
oh yeah, I did.
Okay, so we're past 60 seconds, so this sounds like it's a contest to me. Okay. The right thing to do.
Yeah.
He needs to decide whether or not he's sticking to his call, and it goes back, or he retracts it.
Okay, he thinks he can catch that. So.
Okay, this should go back. Yeah.
All right, there's been a good discussion there, and it's resulted in eventually a contested call. There's good, respectful communication. A lot of these teams have English as a second language here, and so communication is paramount. All teams working on being respectful and seeing each other's perspectives here. It's not an argument, it's not a discussion of who is right. It's a way to air both perspectives and arrive at the correct call, correct resolution.
We'd just like to thank our game advisors for being here to support the calls of the players. They're not here to make a call, but they're here to, you know, advise and get in there if there was something that wasn't seen by the other players.
The Austria team's got a block straight off the bat there, and then unfortunately thrown it just over the head of one of their players, which looks like might have caused an injury there.
We've got another call there. Let's see what, oh look, so we've got Johnson going off with an injury.
I think it's still a we had no chance on this.
Well, I was playing before the disc was picked up.
Did that affect the outcome?
We had no chance.
I think it's good.
We had no chance.
Okay, come on.
Right, so it looked like, there we go. Chinese Taipei on the board there.
Goal stands.
A few chats about what have happened there, but it looked like the resolution really went to spirit of the game there. I think the coming out of that first contested call, there was a bit of a miscommunication and a turnover from the Chinese Taipei team. Austrians failing to complete the next pass, shooting it over the end. It was an injury call, but it didn't really matter. The Chinese Taipei players were away and running and had put in the goal before anything had happened, and the Austrian players recognized that and realized that, yes, even though there was an injury which would stop the game, they were nowhere near the play, so it didn't really affect, so the goal stood there. It's great spirit to see that in action.
I think that Austria did really well to stay focused, even when there was a couple of stoppages in that last point. You know, it's easy to become distracted. It's easy to become, you know, get in your heads a little bit. And but you know, they stayed strong.
Yeah, I think, and they were really ready to go on defense. All right, the pull goes up. Here we go. The Chinese Taipei team on defense here. Let's see what they can pull out here.
Beautiful throw up to Pets.
Cycling around the handlers here and a shot down the end. Oh, he's dumped it back to the handler and then a quick shot into the goal. And that's a clean, quick, efficient score from the Austrian team. Not letting that quick Taipei goal affect them really. Going up to 4-1, holding their 3-point lead in this game.
That was a quick score by Austria. They got in there really quick, came out firing, ready to go.
Really took their opportunities when they saw them. After a quick bit of handler movement behind the disc, just dishing it around, making this Chinese Taipei zone work. Got it to the sideline and then shot it up there as soon as they saw a window for a nice goal. It's good play, well rewarded. Chinese Taipei team can't be too mad about that one. You don't always get a block when you're playing defense. You can only work hard and sort of put yourself in a position to put pressure on the Austrian team. And they're coming out on offense here and they're looking for a clean hold, bring it back to a 2-point game.
Now we've got the Austrian captain with the disc again, Biberneck for the upwind pull.
That's a beautiful sitter here. Fielded by Lin. Goes across to Chen as they're sitting around. There's a nice bit of handler movement. Oh, and they're shooting long. They're looking for Huang again. He's in the end zone. Players in the area. Oh, and perfectly read.
He's done it. Taipei's come up 4-2. They're on 2.
That's what they're looking for there. There's a confident shot to a man in space. He was there in position early and was able to use that to hold off the defensive players and have a good read at the disc and let it come down to him. I think that'll be it. It's a much confident, it's a reassuring offensive point from the Chinese Taipei team. It'd be nice to see if their offense looks that good the rest of the game.
That was a beautiful shot. It just sat right in the air and it gave time for the Chinese Taipei player to get right underneath it. He took it down really confidently. It was really beautiful to see.
Yeah, full credit to all of the players involved there. Huang holding his space, knew where he wanted to receive the disc and where it was going to come down, and the Austrian players not being overly physical, putting good defensive pressure on, absolutely in the area. If the throw was off, they would have been able to get a good, safe, clean block, but it turned out to be an absolute dime ball, dropping straight down on Huang. Pulls up again. This is another upwind pull. Not getting quite as far, but a lot of hang time on that one.
Looks like Austria have come out. They're going to just throw through. Their handlers sitting right at the back. It's a great way to play against a zone that Chinese Taipei's put on for their defense. Austria's got four handlers sitting towards the back. Back to Olet.
Cycling well around the Austrian handlers here. They've got numbers behind the disc here, and they're managing to reset. They're not looking overly pressured, but this Taipei zone has got 3 players close up to the disc and then a second line of 3 players, and so it's really preventing them gaining any outfield advantage here, even though they are able to reset.
And it's a big throw. Coming down to Novak. He's done it. He's scored it. Well done.
It's been called not in by the players, and they're on defense again. Chinese Taipei scrambling here.
There's a foul call made.
Yep. I think both players are aware of what happened. Just a bit of a bump. That'll be uncontested.
And Kleinheppel shoots it, and it's a goal.
That's what they were looking for, I think, the Austrians. That's doing a lot of resetting, a lot of moving behind the zone, and not gaining a lot of ground there, but Novak turned on the burners, looked deep, and, you know, the shot came. Austrians really playing to their advantage here, looking to shoot long and hit their big receivers.
They kept a really cool head, Austria, behind the disc. They just cycled through their handlers. They looked really calm holding the disc and just waited for the exact right moment to shoot deep. I thought that was really well done. They've obviously built some really great connections over the last 12 months, Austria, training together. A few of these guys have played together in the juniors comp. And at national teams, they're really confident. They've got really good connections. They're confident connections is what I'd say.
I absolutely agree with that one. I think that sort of trust and respect in the other handlers is going backwards and forwards around the back, is really forming a stable base for the rest of their offense to flow out of. Pool comes up here. This is real nice. One, almost getting all the way back to the end zone here. Fielded by Chinese Taipei, and they're coming down with a 3-handler set. A lot of players quite close to the disc.
Looks like Austria's coming out with a classic match defense, just playing close to the opposition, close to the man. Big shot there towards the back of the end zone. Didn't quite come off.
Much too far for Chen as Austria goes back the other way. Oh, and that is a huge D from Lin.
Nicely defended.
Reads the play, comes screaming in, and he's back off to the races again, getting it done for his team on both sides of the disc. Chen goes back to Yo. Oh, and that's just too low from Lin there. It's a shame. It's a great opportunity for Chinese Taipei, but they will be looking to get another block here, see if Lin can pull another one out of the bag.
Right, so we've got Gustav Naps behind the disc, ready to start the play. Spalhox with the disc. Fischer's got the disc. He's looking to throw long. Didn't quite get it. Good fake though. Back to Fischer. Austria keeping that classic cool head, just slowly moving the disc up through the field. Got out in front. Way to get a gainer. Full extension for Kitchen. He's got the disc. Looking behind him now. Oitner. Beautiful.
That's an amazing grab in the end zone there.
That was Fischer with the score.
Oh, doing it all. Austrians really working the unders on that point, really grinding through their cutters. I think there are a lot of really strong, aggressive deep looks. You can see the handlers are looking to absolutely send it long. That is one of their strengths so far, and the Taipei team doing a good job to recognize that, stay real close on those deep cuts, even stay an extra bit deep, but that defensive prioritization of the deep meant that there was a lot more space under, close to the disc. So the Austrians are getting gainers under much more easily because the Taipei team were rightfully afraid of the big long shot.
Austria's done great. We've gone from 4-2 to 5-2 to 6-2. Austrians just got those 3 points up. That is a great way to start the game for them. I'm sure they're feeling really confident. You don't want to get too much into your heads. You know, still time for the game to slip. They've got to keep pushing, keep the pedal on the metal, and keep the pressure on to keep that lead over Chinese Taipei.
Absolutely. Yesterday in the showcase game, we saw Australia not able to hold on for a victory after a 7-1 lead. So anything's possible in this beautiful game of Ultimate. At this tournament here, these teams are all capable of punishing mistakes and turning a game on its head. The Austrian team will have to keep up the high level of execution that they've got and their defensive intensity if they want to keep this scoreline distant. Chinese Taipei team having a bit of a chat now, trying to see what they can pull out, what they can change here. I think their difficulty at the moment is not quite in generating blocks. They're getting a decent amount of possession off the Austrian team, but unable to convert that one. They're really moving around, hustling with the disc by just forcing a few too many throws. Maybe to wait for a second or a third cut option.
Right, so it looks like Austria are on the line. They are ready to go. They're ready to go, just waiting for Chinese Taipei to set up. They had a little bit of a long chat with the coach, ready to bring out some firing guns, trying to capitalize and make a score in this next point. We've got Captain Jan Bibinek with the disc. He's ready to pull.
Dropping in some monster pulls earlier, can expect more of the same here. The Chinese Taipei team signaling readiness.
It's a sitter.
Looks like a few too many weed picks on that one. Sails out the side. Bit of strength. Chinese Taipei team signaling that they will take this from the brick mark, which is a mark in the center of the field, a third of the way up, for a pull that goes out on the full. Shen with the disc. Looking for an early break throw. Doesn't have anything.
It's up in the air.
Shoots long. It's fading to the break side. Taipei players in the area. Oh, well read. Xie with the disc. Needs to move it here. Finds Huang. Need to be taking easy options here. Ooh, Yi holding strong.
There's a foul called made. Looks like it was uncontested.
Austrian player coming in strong with the defense here, but it was a bit too much contact, and he recognizes that. And that's a violation.
Looks
Moving before the disc was checked in. I'll just reset and have another go at it.
Make sure everybody's ready. And then Bibinek calling it in. Now it's in.
Yi still with the disc here. Gets it out to Yo.
Right
Just
on
out the front here. He's got to be moving it. Goes across to Yi. Oh,
he towed
nice
it.
grab. Drops his toe in. And that's a score.
He was right on the edge of that end zone. He knew where his feet were. He knew where to be to make sure that that was a goal. I think that was really well done.
Yeah, it looked like the Taipei were putting out quite a strong line. Number of their key players out there making a difference there. Going left to right for a score. Keeping it within 3 here. Taipei not in the strongest of positions here, but they're on a bit of a roll. If they can get a break here, going downwind, that'll bring it to 2, and they'll be in within shooting distance. Right now, they're sort of trailing, but trying to not let Austria out to too much of a lead.
Taipei is definitely, absolutely still in it. The game's not over yet. We're only 30 minutes into the game.
Absolutely,
There's
these
still
are long games.
Heaps of time for an upset. Heaps of time for one team to come out over the top. Our games are just about 100 minutes, just under 100 minutes, because we have a 7-minute halftime stoppage.
Those whistles you'll be hearing is the game advisors signaling time between points. Austrian team signaling readiness as the pool comes up here.
The Austrian players are signaling that they think the Taipei players were offside. That means they have crossed the line before the disc has been released by the puller.
Yep, that's the arms crossed, raised above your head signal that we're seeing there. They'll just come for a re-pull here, but if there is a second offside for the Taipei defense, the Austrian team will receive the disc in the center of the field. Much cleaner this time. However, that is a gigantic pull being fielded by some spectators, and the Austrian team will take it from the brick mark.
So Dovitz has the disc. He's walking it up, taking his time. You know, he's allowing for all of the Austrian players to set up in their offense kind of structure. It looks like Chinese Taipei has come out with a zone, a three-man zone, kind of up the front. So Austria is really looking to take this, do some really strong passes upfield into the wind, which again has just kept picking up. The wind's coming from right of screen across towards the left.
Same defense as before. The Taipei team with a lot of players around the disc, a lot of very close here, and the Austrian team working through their handlers behind.
Salamand with the disc. Classic yellow headband.
Still cycling, still a lot of handler movement here, not gaining much upfield yardage, and that's the turnover the Taipei team was looking for. Forcing a lot of those passes, and eventually an incompletion will come.
So that was Dovitz. Didn't quite get hands to it. Austria's looking to capitalize, put on some really hard defense to avoid the score close to the end zone. There's been another call made. It looks like a foul, uncontested.
Yeah, Lin with the disc there. Moving it around, working against that mark, but a little too much pressure. Unable to get that throw off. Looks backwards, tries to find Yi, but that's just eaten up.
Very nice defense by Novak, and he shot it into the end zone to Salamand, and it's a goal.
And that's 7-4 Austria. Yeah, it looked like the Taipei team had a little trouble moving it off the sideline there. The defensive pressure was really tight on that dump, and they weren't able to reset that disc.
Salamand scored that one, and he did a great job. Now, he is the youngest player on the Austrian team. He's 19 years old. He was one of the national champions in 2015, so he's been playing for quite a while. And at such a young age, he's got only up and up to go.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a lot of these players are quite young, and yet already stars of their respective club teams, or even with previous Worlds experience. It's interesting to see the balance of experience and youth talent that are on some of these teams. Players that have played before at this level are somewhat of a rarity, but absolutely invaluable assets to this team. This Taipei team has 2 or 3 players that have played before at this level, some at the under-20 level and a couple at the under-24 level, and they will be on-field generals and captains for the team, looking to get it done on the pressure.
That experience really helps out the less experienced players. You know, when players have already been on the world stage, they feel a little bit more of a cool head. They can be more of a mentor to the less experienced players.
Yeah,
very valuable.
The Taipei team is working into the win there and just can't reel that one in.
So Fischer's chucked it up, and he's got it to Spalhotz in the end zone for a goal.
And that's a quick punish. The Taipei team looked like they were good. They were getting some good movement, but just bounced off the chest of one of their cutters there, and quickly and ruthlessly punished by the Austrian team.
Spalhotz, he's the biggest player on the field. He's a big Eminem fan, says on his Facebook profile page. It's hard to go up. It's hard to go up against some of those 6-foot players, and he's really using his height well.
All right, and that's 8-3. That's half-time taken by Austria here. It's going to be a tough one for Taipei as the Austrian team keeps pulling away, bit by bit, increasing this gap. Taipei team able to score, able to get some points on the board every now and then, but not nearly at the pace of the Austrian team.
Now, like we mentioned before, the halftime is going to be a 7-minute break when one team reaches 8 points, when one team scores 8. So both teams, you know, they've got a little time to reset. They're going to grab some shade. And just while the players are grabbing some shade, we'd love to take this opportunity to thank some of our sponsors. We've been lucky enough to be sponsored by HBF Stadium, right close to the fields. It's just over on the other side. Players can drop into HBF Stadium and access the pools, gym, cafe, and the creche. It's just a short stroll from the fields. All the players got a little guest pass to be able to use the pool, so I'm sure some of those players will be enjoying making use of the nice, cool pool. We're also sponsored here by Coles Subiaco. Thank you for all the support. Visit the new store in Coles Subiaco. Also by City Toyota in Netherlands. Thank you for your courtesy vehicles to City Toyota, and come and see the friendly crew at City Toyota Netherlands for some great service and deals.
Other than that, like, don't feel bad.
Welcome back, and we are just about to kick off the second half of the game with Austria men's versus Chinese Taipei men's. The weather's heating up a little bit. The wind is still pretty strong, coming from the right of screen over towards the left. It's 24 degrees today, so it's 24 degrees right now. It's going to get right up to 35, a bit hotter later on, but it's pretty pleasant still right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. It's going to be interesting to see how these conditions affect the game going forward. They've definitely affected it thus far. A number of Chinese Taipei huts have sat up in the wind and yielded their height advantage to the Austrians. The Austrians said they wanted to use their height and play through that, and they've been doing that really successfully. They've been put up a number of big shots, some of them looking deep for their athletics receivers, some of them soaring into the air for their tall boys. It's working for them well. See if Taipei are going to shut down that long game. They need to be working around the height defense on offense, though. They've been effective at closing out their long game when they're playing defense. However, they need to be more conservative, quick, and really running it up the guts to push it and not attempt to go through the Austrian defense. They need to be going around it, finding little holes rather than trying to beat them in aerial contests.
So that's 3 whistles, and Bibanek is coming up for the pull.
It's another big one here, and
looks like it's heading out.
A little too much time in the gym, and it's Taipei team is signaling that they will be taking it from the brick mark. A single raised hand from Lin. He's the captain of this team, letting his team know what's going on. Collapsing to a vert stack here. And the disc is in. Oh, they immediately shoots long. He's got Huang out the back in an acre of space.
And Spauholtz got there for the D.
He's just misread that disc. It looked like he was there for days.
Like I said before, it's hard to play against the tallest guy on the field. He just got there.
Even with a lot of space, didn't have the time that he needed to get there. He just sort of ran under it, thought it was sailing a bit longer, and it was gobbled up.
We've got Jan Bibanek, captain of the Austrian team. His team came second at Lecco in Italy at the WU24UC. down to Spalholz. And Fischer calling his players to come under to get the disc. Back to Fischer. He's looking for a big shot. It's gone up in the air. We've got a few players underneath. It looks like we've got about 4, 6 players under it.
And it just sails out of the field. There's a lot of players under that disc there. Real big sitter. Would have been an amazing grab if anyone could reel that in and keep it in bounds.
Didn't quite get there on that last one though.
Taipei team going downwind here. Moving it quickly into the hands of Xie. Back in the center here. Taipei team just stretching, looking hard for those inside breaks.
And now Austria's got the disc. They've got possession, looking calm, looking confident. Bibanek with the disc. Down to Palais. And Fischer's got the disc again. Easy little one to Bibanek. They're just getting those little gainers up in the air. Palais's got it. Austria sent it towards the back of the field a little bit, just trying to reset, get a really good position so they can make a strike, and it's a hammer over towards the back. With Bibanek for the score. They've done it again.
That's amazing stuff by them. And the Taipei team working well, getting a lot done, but just squeezing those inside breaks, looking for shots that weren't quite there, trying to make something out of nothing, trying to do it with their throws. That's going to be probably not a very effective strategy this week here in Perth. Throws are going to be difficult. Windows are going to be tight. If you're going to be getting it done like that, it's got to come from your cutters. You've got to be sprinting, using their athleticism to be getting open and getting free of the defender. Creative throws are going to be tricky to pull off, and probably only the best throwers here are going to be able to work with those.
Part of the conditions, you've got to work towards the, you've got to work with the conditions, use the wind as the advantage. These guys have been training, hard stuff in the gym, hard stuff on the field, plenty of tournaments in the lead up to this game. Lots of work, lots of team building, lots of time taken to build connections.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The Chinese Taipei team has been training, preparing for 7 months, but their tournament experience will be significantly less than the Austrian team. There's plenty of tournaments to go to in Europe, and it's not quite the case in Southeast Asia, as the Austrian team pulls a brick. See, offside is being signalled by the game advisors here. However, the Chinese Taipei team elects not to call it. Probably a wise move. It's coming into the brick, and you wouldn't want to give them a second chance at a pull. Taipei setting up in horizontal stack here.
Looks like a 3-3-1 maybe setup. Oh, just a bit of a drop there. That is untimely.
Slipped out of the hands of Lin.
So we've got Nafts who picked it up. Kogard's got the disc. Very safe throw. Looks like there was a stoppage there. And the disc is going back to Kitchen. There was a foul called made. Uncontested foul. And Kitchen is sending it a little bit back towards the field to Kogard.
Oh, and that's an amazing D from the Taipei player. He's come screaming through and he's found that block.
Looks like there could have been a stoppage there though.
I'll have a chat and see.
So it looks like there has been a pick called. The players are signaling that with 2 hands, kind of flex your muscles. We've got Kogard with the disc. Looks like he's coming in on 0. Personal trainer Kogard throws it out. And there's a strike there. Looking for Kitchen in the end zone. Oh, and another stoppage.
Yeah, pick's been called again.
Looks like that disc is going to come back. Back to Cryle. It was a beautiful shot. Let's see if he can do it again. Back to Kogard. Just a little bit of 1-2 between the Austrian players there. Beautiful. Kryle's got the disc again. And he's found Otena, and there's another call made, so just a little stoppage again. Austria's looking very cool, calm, and collected behind the disc. Oh, and an untimely drop just there.
Yeah, couldn't unfortunately reel that one in going down there. The Austrian player just bobbling that one a little bit, giving Taipei a chance to go upwind.
They did very well before. Let's see if Taipei can do it again. It's a big strike.
Oh, shooting long, but it's dropped short. Picked up by Chen.
It was well read.
Swung nicely across to Chung. He's got the disc here. They're looking to need to be taking these early options here. Oh, finds Chang on the line there. He looks long for his player, but he turned away.
Looks like there could have been a little bit of miscommunication with that shot into the end zone there.
Interesting in a Taipei needs to be moving the disc faster here. They're looking off a whole lot of options and then sort of getting stuck with the disc. That's the kind of quick look, quick throw movement that they're looking for, but just getting a bit over themselves.
Now Nafts has got the disc. He's looking very confident. He's had a lot of disc time this game, and he shot it long. Looking for Kryle. He's picked it up well. Kryle's just taking his time, waiting for the perfect shot. Down to Otena. And he's done it. It's another goal to Austria. They've done really well. They've got the last couple of goals.
Yeah, it's
the last
10-3 now.
Goals.
10-3 now. Austria really extending their lead, putting on a dominant performance here. The Chinese Taipei team just not able to convert here, getting a lot of small unforced errors and not playing terribly and just doing a few small things wrong, but the Austrian team ruthlessly punishing them with quick, efficient hucks down the field and really reeling those ones in. And they're just, I think the difference being made here is in the receivers. Strong throws across both teams, but the Austrian receivers just had that extra step, that extra 6 inches of height, and it's really working for them there.
The Austrian team have been training together for 12 months, and it's really showing on the field. They've got some wonderful connections. Like I said before, many of these guys have been playing together for years at clubs, in national rep competitions. So they've got years of connections built. Bibinek with the pull, and it's rolled out of the field.
Oh yeah, I've got Lin collecting the disc.
Taking it from the sideline this time.
And that's an unfortunate turnover again from Taipei. They're looking to make something out of nothing with their throws here, and they're just squeezing these closing windows. Not easy going downwind.
We've got Nafts with a nice sitter. Big strike, looks like it's going into the end zone.
Oh, and that's tremendous defensive play.
You read that like a book.
Absolutely. It was a nice sitter of a throw, really led his man out into space, but Liang was there in the area, ready to play defense on that one. Taipei going the other way now. So still in, not hitting there, initiating cutters here. Managing to reset to Xie. Around, stabilizing here. Nice inside shot, finds Chen. Shoots long, sees his player there, can they read it? Oh, and that's well read, well reeled in, but it's not quite in yet. Lie out the front. Resets patiently, finds Xie. Back to Lin.
Austria absolutely scrambling towards that point, and then just a bit of a communication breakdown from Chinese Taipei. Fischer's got the disc. He's going to bring it in. Start the new play for Austria on offense. To Spielholz, tallest man on the field again. Back to Fischer. Back to Fischer, Palais to Fischer there. He's found Dernstrom.
Bit too casual there on that reception. It's bounced off his hands, giving Taipei the opportunity to go back the other way. Got a little nice hike before as well, reeled in, but they just didn't have the discipline and patience to close it out the front there.
Big
Shot
strike.
goes long. He's got a man under the disc, but is just asking too much. It sails out the sideline in the end zone there. Austria again got the disc going upwind.
Looks like Nafts is coming to pick up the disc. Now Fischer strikes up the line to receive it on the sideline. He's looking over towards the middle of the field, does a hammer. Found Captain Bibernek. No one on him. Bibernek shot it into the end zone. And
that is an
Spielholz
unbelievable
brings it
grab.
down. Beautiful goal from Austria.
It's amazing. It's a great shot, well reeled in, using his height to hold position there, and a lot of body control to keep his foot down, make sure he's inside the line there. It's just another dominating score from the Austrians. They've gone up 11-3 now and are signaling a timeout.
So the score is 11 to Austria, 3 to Chinese Taipei. It's been a cracker of a game so far. We've still got quite a lot of time left.
It's going to be interesting to see if Taipei are able to reel this one back in.
So we've just got a replay here from that huge, amazing throw into the back of the end zone. You can see Spielholz just getting under it, reading the disc really well, taking a huge jump. He's a tall dude and he's done it. He's brought it down. That was such a great grab.
The Austrians are playing their game. They're shooting along when they're looking for it. They're taking the options they're looking for and playing through their really tall, athletic receivers. And Taipei really don't have an answer for that at the moment. They offensively are close. They're nearly getting it there, but they've just turned it over close to the end zone a number of times. And the Austrians are just ruthlessly punishing it for them for it. Austrian team coming out on defense again.
They're looking very calm, doing a couple of little sprints to get ready for this next point.
Keeping themselves hyped up and ready. Austrian team definitely look confident. They feel calm and couple of different types of calm. You can see the Austrian team are just feeling control. They feel ready for this game. Chinese Taipei team look like they're really trying to just find something, trying to make something out of nothing.
Right, so we've got Paul Dragoschnik with the disc. Going to do a nice big pull. He's got the wind behind him. It's going to be a big one.
He's used the wind well there. Received confidently by the Taipei team. Gone up to Shen. And they're now holding it there in the middle here. Yi shoots long.
It's a big gainer.
This is the movement they're looking for early, but resets back to Yi. And And that's not what they're hoping for there.
So Dovitz has just defended that. He read that really well.
Taipei moving this far, but not a lot of completions.
Right, so that was Dovitz picking up the disc. Beautiful, easy throw. We've seen a lot of this style from Austria, just level heads, working through the back end. Big strike here. We've got Rapanik under it, didn't quite get there, unfortunately.
Yeah, came in hot, going for a knee slide there, but just, I think, focused too much on his feet or the ground and not enough on the disc, giving Taipei the opportunity to go into the wind. Let's see if they can make it happen this time. They need to be moving quickly and getting a lot of touches.
There's another turnover here.
Forcing these closing windows here, and it's not what they need to be doing.
So we've got Dovitz coming over to the disc, picking it up. Looks like they've got an end zone play happening. Swings it back to the center line of the field. Bit of give and go, 1-2 from Austria. Lovely. Austria's done it again.
That's a great break throw, just a little over the shoulder, outside in, dropping in front of his player for an easy goal. Austria extend their lead.
That was Timmy Idla with the score.
Amazing. Austria stretching it out to 12-3 now.
They've got a comfortable lead. Let's see if they can hold it.
Keep playing the way they are. It's clear that the Taipei team is trying to force things through some key players, trying to really make something out of nothing here. Admirable efforts in those, but they need to be spreading the field, moving it through all of their players. It's becoming too easy for the Austrians to lock down on those key cogs in the machine and make it difficult for Taipei to generate any real movement.
Austria is signaling that they're ready to pull by holding the disc up in the air.
Taipei with readiness, that's a lot quicker. Oh, nice roller.
That's Bibanek. He's done one of those pulls before.
It goes out the side there, and there we go.
Always tricky to pull into the wind, but he's found a way to do it.
I think he's done the roller so that Taipei has no option but to start with it. He's trapped on the sideline here. They've not been very, very strong here previously. And it's not looking a lot better this time as the power dump goes backwards. Oh, amazing running by Lin to pull that one in. That's what you want out of your captain. And he's taken an amazing grab there, but the question is whether or not the first point of contact was in or out of the field.
You were in.
Okay, because I thought his legs were up, first contact down.
Okay. My perspective is he's in. That's the information that you have.
Okay. Okay. In.
It looks like his feet came down first. What an amazing grab, and he's still in here. He's telling his players they've got to get off that sideline. It's great advice there. On his shooting long, it's a big blade coming in. Oh, amazing grab, well reeled in. And they're just outside of the end zone here. They've got to have disciplines, got to be able to reset here. They haven't been able to get it thus far. Stretches it out, and it's run down by Xie.
They've done it, well done.
It's good work by Taipei. They've finally managed to capitalize on a nice big gainer by that. Bring it back to 12-4, but they're going to need to get a lot more done in this game if they're going to come away with a W.
We're 63 minutes in, just past the 1 hour mark. So I'd say at this point some of the players might be feeling a bit of the fatigue. It's heating up, but now's the time when the game really shows how the stamina and the long distance sort of shines.
Yeah, it's definitely late in the game when endurance becomes important. Frisbee is absolutely a game that involves a lot of short, sharp points, a lot of quick sprinting and movement, but an hour is a long time to be sprinting around in this heat and this sun. So the endurance is going to be showing for these teams, and the athletic preparation is going to be what's going to carry them through here. The Chinese Taipei team are going to need their players to be able to keep generating and keep making it happen late in the game here if they're going to mountain comeback. One of the beautiful things about Ultimate is that you're always in the game. You can never score and then lose. You have to score to win the game, so runs of any length are always an option as the Chinese Taipei team looks to get a break here.
That was Paul Ouellette with that throw. Back to Ouellette. That was Idler on the sideline to Ouellette, kind of towards the middle. He's put it back towards the middle again. Nice backhand here to Kleinheipel. Looking for the long throw. Didn't quite get there.
Yeah, little work over the head there. They were doing some nice resetting with the handlers, but not generating anything. And then the first sort of gainer upfield, stressed out, bit of touch over the head here. Got Wang picking up the disc on the sideline here. Finds a nice inside break to Lee. Stuck with the disc here.
Beautiful backhand there.
Wang in the space there, Wei with the disc. Oh, looked like there might have been a bit of contact in that one. They'll have a talk about it and they'll see what might have happened and whether it had affected the play here. Looks like the game advisors have stopped the clock so that we can resolve this play here and make sure everything goes okay. Player safety is the first paramount option, and once we realize everybody's okay and everyone's back up and got it together.
Absolutely, we've got to really watch out for those injuries. Everybody's playing with integrity and in a safe way. Sometimes little bumps happen.
Okay, so my view was you didn't do enough to avoid contact, and that happened. It's just an accident, but it, from my perspective, it was a foul that resulted in him losing possession.
Okay.
Okay. Uncontested foul.
Nice, that's uncontested foul. That'll be the disc staying with 41 Huang. And Chinese Taipei close here, but there are a lot of players very close to the disc. Not giving themselves a lot of space to work in here, and these throws are going to be really hard. Austria's playing tight defense here as he managed to get it back. Wang's got the disc, but can't make that inside break work for them. Austrians with the disc, immediately striking long.
It's a huge throw that's gone up. We've got Novak under it, and he's brought it down, but not quite in the end zone. So he's looked to Ouellette for the score. And Austria's made the difference a bit greater. It's 13-4. I mean, yeah, 13-4 to Austria.
And that's really been the story of the game. The Chinese Taipei had to work their butts off and really just sprint and grind for every single pass. And, you know, eventually they'll run out of space. A lot of the players getting closer and closer to the disc, and not a lot of space and not a lot of room to work, having to force throws in tight windows and eventually running out of gas just out front of the end zone. And then Austrian team immediately punishing with a big hug, big reception, and a quick, easy flip for a goal. Taipei have got to change up what they're doing. They need to be playing a more spacious game. They need to be moving more, doing different things if they're going to be able to generate efficiently and consistently all the way up the field.
We've got Captain Bibanek with the disc, ready to go for the pull. Upwind. He's doing that same roll pull again.
That's good. This one doesn't go out. It's fielded on the inside by the Taipei. Not quite as good, but gives the Austrian defense time to get down there. And the Taipei are moving here. Shen gets it. It looks long. And his players just come under that disc here. He's not quite shooting the shots that his players are looking for. He has played previously in the States, and his throws just aren't doing it for him today. He's had a couple of long looks, and he clearly backs himself here, but he's getting a bit of a head down, and it's not quite making it happen when it needs to. So Austrians going upwind here. Let's see if they can make it happen.
We've got superstar Jakob Dernström with the disc. That's to Bibinek. He looks calm. He's waiting for the perfect shot. Dernström again. Back to Bibinek. And he's found Nafts. Over to Fischer here in the middle of the field. Reset it towards the sideline. Austria's keeping that cool, level head, just waiting, just cycling through the handlers, waiting for the perfect shot. Great big shot up to Bibinek there. And to Fischer, and he's put it into the end zone for Kreil, and he's got another goal. Well done, Kreil.
That's amazing work by this Austrian team here. That is really nice offense. They're just patient, working it. A few nice break shots gets them the yardage they needed, and then when the opportunity was there, floats one out into space for a streaking receiver, ready to go and just wheels that win and win. Easy as you like. Austria bring it to 14-4, bring themselves within 1 point of the game.
They've got a comfortable win. Let's see if Taipei can turn on the jets, bring some hustle, bring some energy, and get this next goal. They're coming out, Taipei is coming out on offense. And let's see if they can capitalize with an upwin 0 point. We've got Gustav Nafts, number 72 here, pulling for Austria.
Chinese Taipei here, looking to go upwind here, keep themselves in this.
They're still in it. They're absolutely still in it.
They can stop Austria scoring any more points. All they have to do is get 11 in a row and they've won the game.
With miscommunicated throws like that, there is no time for them.
Yeah, it's not what they're looking for here, but not a lot of good options. Austria worked out what they're looking for and playing good defense, and now looking to punish with good offense and great grabs like that.
Yeah, Palais. That was Palais with the disc. Kreil's got the disc now. Over towards the far sideline. Unfortunate drop.
That's a shame. Can't really reel that one in there, but Chinese Taipei picked up the disc. The stall count's going, and all right, that's a completion, and they're going now, and that's a huge shot. They've got a man there, but that disc is sitting. And there's a horde of Austrian defenders there. Never really had a chance. And
Kitchen's brought that one down. He read it well. Over to Kreil. And back to Kitchen, right on the goal line. We've got Palais, grabs the disc. He's looking long, he's looking downfield, and he has found...
Couldn't reel that one in though, bounced off his chest. Taipei with half the field to work it in. Let's see if they can do it in. And they've called a timeout. A lot of their players looking pretty gassed right now. They've been losing the athleticism battle in this game. They've got some decent speed, some decent quickness, but they're just being ground into the ground by this Austrian team.
A couple of those guys in that point ran from one end zone all the way up to the Austrian end zone up here. So a couple of big sprints. That's why they're feeling the heat. They're feeling the fatigue coming in.
Absolutely. It's late in the game, and they're just not holding it in there like they need to be doing. They're not really going to be able to make a difference here unless they can put this in. They need to be able to execute off a stop disc on half a field. If they're not able to do this here, then it doesn't look good for the rest of the game here. It's going to be interesting to see what they can take out of this game going forward, what lessons they can build. This is a long week with a lot of games. This is just their first game of the tournament, and the men's division structure means that you're not quite out for quite some time. There's 16 teams, and they're going to you know, they'll have a pool play and then power pools and then quarterfinals. So plenty of opportunity for them to perform well at this tournament if they can draw the right lessons from this game.
That's right. The men's didn't play yesterday. The women's matches had one game in the afternoon after the showcase game between Mixed Australia and Mixed India. So this is the first game in the men's league.
So Chinese Taipei sets up here in 4 handlers back and 3 players in a vertical stack. And they're off, and the shot comes immediately. And it's well read, well intercepted by...
That was Philip Kitchen on that catch.
Looked like he had the space and had a quite clean grab, but they'll have a chat about it, and everybody will have a look at their perspectives here.
We've got the Chinese Taipei interpreter coming on the field to assist the player to be able to communicate in most effective way.
Yes. So I think I stopped the disc first. Yes.
Oh, that's Spirit Captain.
I don't think that you had the disc under control
Michael
before I caught it. You might have touched it, yeah, but it definitely wasn't under control yet.
Okay. Okay. So you can either come to me or come to a resolution on this. It's very difficult for me to see from the sideline, but it did seem to me like the possession was here. Okay, but I am not 100% certain about that. Okay.
Okay.
It's a good chat. It's a good resolution. I think they've had a chat about what might have happened and who gained control of disc. It looked like the Taipei player felt that he had, you know, made contact with it, but looked like control was only established by the Austrian player, and that's a good resolution. And we'll get back underway.
Right. So that was napped with that unfortunate throw. So now Taipei has possession of the disc.
They're going back the other way. They've got a short field here, but a lot of Austrian defensive pressure. Not a lot of space for them to be working in here. A lot of players close to the disc. Not getting a lot of yardage here.
A strike there. It's in the air. It's still in the field, but brought down by Philip Kitchen. Austria's got possession. They're going to walk it to the front of the end zone and begin the play. Kitchen's looking downfield now. He's done a big strike. Looks like the wind just took that one a little bit too much, way out in front.
And they didn't have a lot of options, couldn't execute the throw back to his dump. And they'll have a discussion here about whether or not, I think a stall is being called here. It looks like the resolution they've come to is that the count was indeed fast. So there was not a stall because the count was fast. It was an uncontested fast count. If a fast count is called during the stall count drops by 2 and we keep playing. But you can contest the stall on the basis of a fast count. And looks like it's an uncontested fast count here, so it'll be a turnover regardless, but much better to have a turnover where it was than right on the cone there, as Chinese Taipei goes back the other way. Looking to put this one in on their 3rd offensive possession of this point. Lin with the disc here, shoots long. Chinese Taipei knocking on the door here. Chow with the disc. Resets into the center. It's got Lee. Looks off his dump there. He's looking back in his dump. He's been told to look upfield and had to force a difficult throw. It's not the decision-making that Chinese Taipei wants. Lin with a bit of hesitation on the defense, and he's going to be punished with a great shot from the Taipei, the Austrian team. And they've called a timeout right out front of the end zone for some reason. That's the second timeout in this point. The Austrians need to calm down and collect themselves before advancing it 3 meters. Interesting that they didn't just go to finish the game there, but that's what they've called, I guess. They will probably look to use this timeout to reset all of their players, set up an end zone play, and put this in 1 or 2 passes. Interesting to see whether or not the Taipei team will be able to mount a defense here. There's clearly getting a bit frustrated. Let's see, Lin was on the mark in the dump space just previously. When the dump wasn't executed, he got his head down about it, was clearly visibly frustrated, and in that time, his player was off to the races and sprinting deep and has just received that huck out front of the end zone. So just showing the importance of keeping your head in the game and keeping positive, keeping engaged, even when it's difficult, especially late in this game. It's, you know, quick head down, quick disengagement, and you'll be immediately punished. These teams are elite and they are prepared for it.
That was the game advisor with the whistle, just indicating that timeout time is almost finished. So Austria has been playing really well this game. 15 seconds until the point is going to start again. Both teams have just had a little chat, a little bit of a word from their coach to talk about what the next play is going to be, how they're going to both try to capitalize, how they're both going to try and bring this game home with the next score. First, Austria are going to set up. We have Philip Krau behind the disc.
Looks like they're setting up a set play here. The offense has to set first, and then the defense can set around them.
We've got Fischer behind the handler, behind the disc, about 4 meters back. Interesting spot for a dump to start.
Probably keeping that space clear for his cutters.
There he goes, Fischer. He's done it, he's made it look so easy.
And that's amazing, that's good. The Austrian team have just shown how dominant they are and did everything that they needed to do and have just taken control of this game, and that's a 15-4 win to them. That's a dominant display. Clearly the Austrians had the athleticism edge, much more effective in reeling in those long hucks. Last point was an interesting offensive play from the Austrians, setting up that dump directly behind the disc and sprinting into the end zone for a little chippy float, and is able to quickly snatch that one up.
That was Valentin Fischer. It absolutely worked. It was a really wonderful play. I don't think that Taipei saw it coming, and it was a great way to finish the game. It was an exciting last point.
Yeah, 2 timeouts in that last point. Really went long. Taipei with a lot of chances, but just couldn't make it happen. They're doing a lot throughout the game, making stuff happen, but Austrian defense too tight, and Chinese Taipei with no answer for the athletic Austrian receivers. It's been a great game. I've been Rob Swan, and it's Steph Ma. We've been calling this game for you. We've got a whole day of action coming up. Stay on the stream, give it a spruik on social media, and we'll be back soon. Thank you very much.